Hey there, you might have noticed I've been pretty much away from YouTube for over 3 years now, which is crazy. I get asked all the time where I've been, when am I coming back to YouTube, which builder am I using and teaching now, all that stuff. So before I really crank up this channel again, and I have a lot of plans for that, I just thought I'd quickly make a more personal video, just answer all of those questions in one place. Normal service will be resumed shortly. So you might remember me as the Elementor guy, I suppose. I made a load of YouTube videos on it. I made 2 Elementor courses that were very popular, No Stress WordPress and No Fear Funnels. But then mid-2020, I kind of went quiet for a few different reasons actually. One was because my wife and I decided to build our own energy efficient house, which was cool, but it took 2.5 years and a brilliant way to go grey very quickly. Also, Christmas 2020, I landed up in the emergency room or A&E or whatever you call it where you are. The scary bit of the hospital anyway. It was a bit scary, all right, touch and go for a while, and it took me a long time to recover. I'm all right now, so no worries. I got through it in the end. Very grateful to still be here, still breathing. And also, around that time, I had started to lose a bit of love for Elementor as well. Now, I'm not going to dredge up all the reasons again, but it was a bit of a problem because I wanted to heartily recommend it. I wanted to confidently carry on teaching it. I loved teaching Elementor actually, but I just couldn't ignore the issues that were creeping in at that time. And at that time, I just couldn't see a replacement that I would feel confident in recommending or confident in teaching. Gutenberg wasn't really there yet at that point. So I went off and explored Webflow for a while instead, which was very cool actually. Bit of a pivot, I know. Going from open source to a totally closed system, but in the spirit of experimenting and trying new ways of working, I actually loved Webflow. I love how solid it feels. I love how much less stressful it was to use than WordPress at times. At that time, I made a Webflow course as well, which went really well. And I know that a lot of the people that I taught Webflow to, they've stuck with it, they still use it, they love it, which is great. But long story short, I eventually decided to come back to WordPress. For all kinds of reasons, and I am very glad I did. I realized WordPress is very much my home. I then spent, too much time last year getting back up to speed and testing and researching every possible page builder. Yeah, including the Gutenberg ones. I have really tried to get on with building websites in the Gutenberg interface. Sorry, the block editor, I should say. Now, I know all of this stuff causes people's worst tribal instincts to come out. I hear a lot of people shouting loudly that their builder or their workflow is the only way and all that stuff. I don't care what anyone else uses if it makes them happy. I personally can't get on with developing websites in that UI. That particular interface for editing content, which is great, and designing and developing the site as well, it just doesn't work for me. I feel like I'm trying to design a website in a spreadsheet or something. It just feels utterly uninspiring. Anyway, I am not into negativity, so the search was on for a page builder that I could use and also teach. The sort of builder that already does full site editing really well with an interface that makes building websites fun, that kind of thing. Now, around that time, about a year ago, I think I was very honored, actually, to be commissioned by WP 101 to make a little Elementor 101 course for them, which was a great way for me to get back into the game. I thoroughly enjoyed making that little course. It was surprisingly quite nice getting back up to speed with Elementor as well. And I'm going to come back to Elementor in a second. But anyway, I eventually landed on Bricks Builder, which is what I'm using for my own projects now. Bricks instantly clicked for me. I was instantly inspired to start designing and building again. The class-based global styling was a joy, actually very similar to Webflow in many ways. So late last year, I rebuilt some websites in Bricks, really got to grips with it. I made a new Bricks course a few months ago, Build with Bricks. 350 students in that so far, I think, which is amazing considering that I've been pretty quiet the last few years. I am loving using Bricks. I am loving teaching Bricks. And at the time of recording this video, I've got a free on-demand Bricks masterclass that you can watch. Great, especially if you're considering using Bricks or you're just getting started. I'll drop a link in the description below so you can jump into that class. It's totally free. So yeah, I'm going to be teaching Bricks here, aimed more at the beginners and recent switchers end of the scale, I'd say, because, well, I know that my usual non-coder audience often tell me that a lot of the bricks training out there just feels a bit intimidating to newbies. But at the same time, while I am going to be using and teaching bricks here, I'm also strongly considering making some new Elementor content as well, which might be surprising. Yeah, I know Elementor has had quite a bashing over the last couple of years, and a lot of that criticism has definitely been justified. But loads of the students who I taught Elementor to back in the day tell me they still use it, they enjoy using it, they have a great workflow, they can develop websites quickly with it, it's easy for non-coders to get their head around. And the audience that I've always taught and love to teach are people who are non-coders. I mean, yeah, they tell me often they're aware of the compromises and the trade-offs, because there are compromises in all these tools, right? And they are just tools. No matter which tool you choose, they all have pros and cons and trade-offs for different types of people with different requirements, different experience levels, different ways that their brains are wired up. And that goes for literally every single one of all of the huge range of builders and building methods that I hear people arguing about. So you just have to pick one that has the best balance of trade-offs for your needs. I despise hearing people bashing other people who use something different to them, like their way is the right way and the only way. So yeah, I'm asked all the time if I'll be teaching Elementor again, and I've got to say, as a teacher, I miss helping that particular audience. Sometimes people may be coming to web design and WordPress for the first time, and I'm feeling like I could maybe help people use Elementor more efficiently, create a more optimum workflow. It's a different audience than bricks, for sure. But yeah, in a nutshell, I'll be teaching bricks here, I'm using bricks, but maybe some Elementor training thrown in there as well. We'll see. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, so that's where I'm up to. What's going on with you? Let's catch up in the comments. Drop me a comment below and tell me what you think. Which builder are you using now? All that kind of stuff. It'll be good to catch up. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see you back here very soon.